What's up, YouTube? I'm Everett. This is EvTV. This is the third episode, and we made it. This is the third episode I've recorded in the same night. So let's get through it. I'm super excited for this episode. As you guys can see by the title, this is how we could have gone from $100 to 20,000 plus, or to over $20,000. And what I'm using this episode for is I want to take a look at the investment potential of basketball cards. And to do that, we need benchmarks. And this episode is going to provide the ultimate benchmark of what could happen. So, for this particular card that I'm referencing, there were 10 cards, like the first two sales, according to the PWCC marketplace, were lots of 5 cards, and they were between the two lots. They were sold at an average of $1.05 a card. So the price of the two lots totaled $10.51. And beyond those lots, like these cards consistently went for around $1 a piece. I think for like the first 2 years, I want to say. And I'll have information that either corrects or confirms that. So bottom line is these cards could have been had for about $1 a piece. Now, the person I'm referencing, if you watched the last video, you would have known that I was going to be referencing Giannis, and that is exactly who this episode is centered around, because in November of 2019, that same card that was going for $1 in 2014 is now going for over $200. That's ungraded. Now, graded cards are like we graded PSA 9, and these are actual pictures off of eBay completed auctions. I'm tired. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm sorry, guys. And so this graded PSA 9 was going for $265 in December, and a PSA 10 card was going for $545 in December. So, like I said, these are from eBay.com, and I don't know if you guys are not familiar with the sold items filter on eBay. That it is very, very good for seeing what similar cards have sold for. I use this all the time when I'm trying to determine, okay, how much do I want to bid on this item, and am I getting a good deal on it, or am I overpaying? Am I willing to overpay? But the bottom line is there's a filter where you can click on sold items, and it'll show you items that have recently been sold. It's super helpful. So, quick recap: the Giannis rookie card, base Prism rookie card started off at $1 a piece. As of recently, they've gone up to the numbers that you see on the screen. Now, if you invested $100 in these Giannis rookie cards, you would have something similar to what this picture on the screen is showing, a whole pile of money. But on a serious note, let's look at some numbers here, because that's what we do. Got to look at the numbers. So we have $100 to spend at $1.05 per card. That gets us roughly 95 cards. Now, 95 ungraded cards at that number that I just showed you guys would be $223.50. So 95 times 223.5 equates to $21,232.50. Now, let's assume that we got all 95 of those cards graded and they all came back as nines. Those 95 cards would have been worth about $25,175 total right now. And again, just so we're clear, like the odds of you sending 95 prisms in and having them all come out as PSA 9, odds are you're at least, I would say around half of those at least are going to be 10s. And you can look at the population reports on PSA to see how many of a given card are what the amount of grades a given card has been given, right? So you can see how many PSA 10s are in existence, how many PSA 9s are in existence, and if you total the amount of cards of a particular card graded, and then look and see how much 10s and 9s and 8s, etc. there were, then that'll give you an indication of the how frequently you get a PSA 10 on a card, and the ratio of 10s to everything else, because as you can see, PSA 10s are significantly more valuable. So again, very unlikely, but if you submitted 95 cards and you got 95 PSA 10s back, then you would be sitting on about $51,775. So just for those of us that like the ROI numbers, in the order that I listed in the order that the prices are listed or the values are listed, you'd be looking at around a 21,233% ROI for the ungraded cards, a 25,175% ROI for if all of your cards were PSA 9s, and a 51,775% ROI if all your cards came out as PSA 10s. So pretty ridiculous ROI, right? That's just insane. So now I want you to look at this great graph. And this graph shows is of the raw cards, raw Prism card sales for Giannis. And there is over 100 data points on this. I tried as hard as I could to just get as accurate of a progression as possible. And you guys will notice something in May, I believe May 22nd, the card, May 22nd, the card got up to about $320. And May 19th, actually, I believe it's not listed, but the card got up to 380. You see that spike that's going over 350, right? And if you look at the picture on the graph where it says Toronto wins 4-2, you'll notice under the final, it shows a date, and that date was on 5/25. And the reason why that's significant is because on May 19th, the Giannis rookie cards were going for over $350. On June 20th, the cards were down to there was a card that sold, there was a base rookie that sold for $185. Now, when you see a spike like that and a drastic increase in drop off that quickly, you have to wonder what caused it. And based on the timing, I firmly believe that the Raptors eliminating the Bucks in the NBA playoffs is what caused that drop off. So that card value went up so as high as it did, with the expectation that Giannis was going to lead the Bucks to the finals to play a Warriors team that had a hurt Kevin Durant. Now, another interesting thing about this graph is that the MVP announcement formally happened on June 24th of 2019, and it didn't really affect his card prices that much. So I didn't really include data on that because when I was looking through it, and this, I got all this data from the PWCC Marketplace's website, but when I was looking at the data, I didn't see a significant jump in card prices after he got named the MVP. So if you look at this graph, you could infer that his great individual accomplishments were only as valuable as they were if the team did well as well, right? So team success did have did play a big part in his value, it seems like, based off of these numbers, and that's something to remember going forward. So another thing I wanted to do was, there's a lot of people that buy graded cards, and I think graded cards are great because you know exactly what you're getting. But I got curious and I wanted to see which appreciated more, the non-black label pristine BGS 10. So with that, when I say non-black label, the black label just means that every aspect of the card was graded a 10. So it's the highest graded card can achieve in the market right now. Pristine 10 is still very, very hard to get. It's actually significantly more rare than the PSA 10, and they're significantly more valuable. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to see, did the raw card generate a higher ROI, or did the Pristine 10 generate the higher ROI? And if you've been looking at the screen while I've been talking, then you can see that there is a clear winner, and that is the raw card. And I think the reason for that is the Pristine goes for more, but it also started off significantly higher. Right, the raw card started off at $1, and the pristine card started off at 19 times that. And if you were to go, in order to get a 34,000% return on investment on that pristine card, that card would have had to gone well over $10,000, right? So, I mean, I think that would have been pretty hard to do for somebody not named Michael Jordan or maybe LeBron James. But so what this is telling us right now is that the raw cards actually appreciated better than the BGS 10s. So as promised, but with less of a rant this time, this is the final slide. Again, some steps to success. Do your research. A great way to start doing that research is to subscribe to my channel. And then after you subscribe to my channel, go do more research. Just research, right? Get as much information as possible. That way the decisions you're making are educated. Avoid making emotional decisions. Beware of the infamous bidding war on eBay. That is caused many of destruction to many investors' pockets. And the higher you pay for something, the less of an ROI you're going to get, right? So if you would have paid $2 for those Giannis rookie cards, still would have gotten a killer ROI, but your ROI would have been cut in half. So that's something to keep in mind too. Last but not least, probably most important, invest and speculate responsibly. Do not put yourself in a position where you can suffer legitimate real life consequences if your investing / speculating does not pay off the way you want it to. All right. So the next episode, we're going to be looking at what we can learn from Giannis, right? Because I'm sure a lot of us didn't invest in Giannis. I know I didn't, and a lot of us really, really wish we had an extra $20,000 right now. So seeing that we could have done it with the pretty low risk is, you're risking $100, which isn't cheap, but it's not, it's not terribly bad. So seeing that we could have had $20,000 in a couple of years by throwing out $100, I think can make a lot of us a combination of excited for the future, but also sad that we didn't buy a bunch of Giannis cards back in the day. But the good news is we have this information now and we can learn from it. So that's what we're going to do for the next episode. We're going to take a look at what the general public missed with Giannis. All right. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Look forward to having you guys back for the next episode. Thank you.